I think this is a great project and you guys are all going to have a lot of fun. And I get to talk to you, like Alicia said, about money today. But what we need to figure out first is how much it's going to cost to make a cup of the lemonade that you're then going to sell. So effectively, what we need to do is figure out what our costs are going to be. And you're going to have two types of costs. One will be your variable costs and one will be your fixed costs. Now, your variable costs will be all your supplies that go into making the lemonade. So like your ingredients and the cost of the cup. And then your fixed costs will be the cost of setting up your stand, any sort of advertising or marketing expenses that you may have. So we'll come back to those fixed costs later. But when you're going through your booklet, I think it's on page 10, it'll actually give you the ability to come up with how much it'll cost to make a cup of your lemonade. There's lots of material in here about how to price out your lemonade. And again, I'm sure from the marketing aspect, Alicia and the good people at the Chamber of Commerce, they might be able to tell you some things about marketing and differentiating your product. But for example, let's say we decide to price our lemonade at $1. So each cup of lemonade we sell, we're going to bring in $1. It's going to cost us 25 cents to make that lemonade. And so our margin, our profit, is going to be 75 cents on every cup of lemonade. Now, what we need to do is figure out how many cups of lemonade that we're going to sell that we generate that 75 cents to cover our fixed costs. So the cost of actually setting the stand up, any advertising expenses, or anything like that. And so that's all covered in the booklet, and that all comes down to the budgeting part of figuring out how many cups of lemonade we need to sell to not only break even, but if we do then want to make a profit, and how many cups of lemonade we want to sell to effectively reward us for our time so that you have enough to, what were the three? Spend some, share some, and save some. So that is basically building a budget. And so once we've built a budget, we can play around with forecasting then how many cups of lemonade we expect to sell. And again, one thing to keep in mind is that if you price your lemonade at, say, $1 a cup, you might be selling more or less lemonade than if you price that cup at 50 cents. So you'll have to think about like where you want to put your price point to maximize the lemonade that you're going to sell. But that all comes down to budgeting, which is on 14 and 15 of your workbook. Now, once we've done the budgeting process, then if, for example, we decide that we're going to try and sell 100 cups of lemonade, we can then price out all the variable costs for the supplies that we're going to need, along with the fixed costs for the stand and the marketing. Now, once we've done that, and we have an idea of all our costs that we need, we then need to go out and secure a loan from either your mentor, one of your friends and family, because what we need to do is get equity, cash up front, so we can go out and buy the supplies, so then you can go sell those in the market. And then at some point, you're going to have to repay the person that you got the loan from. So, as an example, when you go out to get a loan from your mom or dad or friends, family, whatever that may be, if you're going to be borrowing, say, $20 to buy all your supplies, you can do that, but at the end of the day, your friends or family are going to want a return on that money that they've lent you. It'd be nice if they didn't want that, but in the real world, that's not how it works. So, depending on how nice your parents are in this whole endeavor, or friends and family, you might have to pay them, say, $1 or $2 for the opportunity cost to use that money to buy supplies, so you can go and sell that to the public, and then make a profit on that, so you can spend, save, and share.